Hello guys, and welcome back to our 42nd episode of our Satisfactory Let's Play episode. And as you can see, things have changed quite a lot since the last episode. But before we get into it, I have a little present for all of you guys as well. We have just released our second album on Spotify, so why not go and check it out? I'll put a link in the description to that below. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's head back over to Past Tom. Hello guys, and welcome back. Today we need to build the Wonder Star factory, which is going to be in this spot just here. As you all know, we've already got the wreaths being produced or it's not wreaths, is it? It's Ficsmas decorations being sent into this. Well, we're going to take it under the ground into our logistics level. And from there, we are going to send it across to here. However, I had a thought. I thought this would be wonderful as a snow globe. So we're going to try and do it with all of the new, let's have a look, the roofs here. Because if we place them down, let's just do it really simply just there. We can use the customizer and use the glass roof to create a glass dome. So that's what we're going to be doing first, which means we're going to have to place a series of foundations up like this through our Ficsmas tree. Hello. And from there start building a circle again. Hopefully it will look all right. So as you can see, judging by the massive pillar in the center of the Ficsmas tree in the ice rink, that we now have the startings of the dome. Now, it's not quite what I intended. It's not as steep as I want it to be, and we could lift it up, but that's going to take a lot more work. I've already spent 2 hours getting this done, so we're just going to go with it and see how it looks overall. It is a relatively delicate process, whereby we have to incrementally turn these by one each time before... Let's put that zoop. Move these out and do it on the other side like so. And then from this point, as I'm sure a lot of you already know from our videos, we're going to bring this down further until ideally it becomes a full circle. We need to rinse and repeat this, but goodness me. It's taking a lot of time. And what I think would be really nice once we've done this is to actually add, to help us fly around, is to use these Ficsmas lights, which of course we can't do now, but bring them along and across here so that it looks really festive and nice. And maybe we'll add some snow. Maybe that will be too much. We'll see. And would you look at this? We've done the upper circle. We still have a bit to do along here. We need to blend it slightly more evenly. One thing that I don't like, you can see kind of these shadows that are being formed. Notice how they're moving. So what I believe these shadows or reflections to be are from our arms, except they're extended all across the whole globe. So we can't actually see that much. It just goes kind of black. So it looks fine if I'm not using the hover pack. In fact, look at that. That looks beautiful. But that is one thing that we have to bear in mind with this. As I mentioned, I want to add some lights around the outside, but the next thing that we need to do is create a little, I guess, portal, like gate, just in the center so that we have the water actually coming through into the little snow globe that we've got over here. So all we're going to need to do here really is to bring these up probably a little higher than this. Then the idea would be to have a gentle slope down either side. So looking at this, I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to be this huge block. So I think what we're going to have to do, if I can do this correctly, is if we grab this, bring these slowly up. And we'll dig it in there, so it kind of ramps up slowly. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that took a lot longer than I expected it would, and we did end up having the ramps upwards. You can see there's a little lip on them, which I'm not too keen on, but overall I think certainly from afar it looks pretty good. It looks like that water's streaming into the globe, which I like. The next thing, of course, though, is whether we're going to add the lights to this or whether we should start producing the Christmas stars, because we're going to need them so that we can unlock everything. Now, I'd like to think that everything that I've done over the past 5 hours was worth it. Unfortunately, the lights that we worked on can't be seen until you're super close, as you can see here. I personally think it is very beautiful, but the problem is that we just can't see it unless we're really close. So with that in mind, we're going to leave the lighting. I would have liked to have done it all the way around. Maybe we will eventually. You can kind of sit just on this level here. Maybe we will bring it further down eventually. But for the time being, I think it's best that we work on the Star Factory and get them underway. For this factory, we're going to try and do it in this L section here. The reason for that is just to kind of make it all work together. And though we will try and keep to this kind of Chicago school style build that we've got going, I do want it to look slightly unique. Maybe changing it. As you can see, we've got different roofs over there versus this one. These ones are flat roofs. This one again is slightly different as well. The idea is that though we keep with the theme, we do make it a little bit different each time. Here we have the outer kind of shell complete, and the next thing that we need to do is place some walls. And so what I'll do with these is place the barriers down. I think here's going to be good, and we're just going to run this across and then grab our windows and just replace, using control, that barrier. As you can see, it's looking all right, but we do need to add beams just around, maybe along here, or maybe a bit above as well. And you can see we've also got to start placing some walls just under or alongside this level of foundation. If you look close, if we change that, you'll see that these are actually not in line with this one. And we've done that the same way that we did the tree, and again with this road. And what we can do with that also, we'll do it here as an example, is run them along there, and then we get this nice little border around the road. So I'm going to try and do this all the way around the build as well, just to give it that little bit of flavor to it and make it stand out a bit more. But it's going quite well. The other thing that I should mention is that because these stars, if we place one of these down, if I remember rightly, they don't require that much. They require 20 candy canes and 5 Ficsmas decorations. So we can actually produce quite a few in here, but I think we'll try and keep it relatively small and just passively generate the resources. Maybe we'll have 3 or 4 probably along here. We'll make it so that their inputs are against the windows. And then we'll probably get the wonder stars to go under, and then I think around to a storage unit over here. So they'll probably just pop up, and maybe we'll have the entrance either this side or maybe over here against the road. That would be quite nice. And here we have it. Our wonderful stars, our wondrous stars, Ficsmas stars, I can't even remember what the name is, are now being produced. And now I have noticed a slight mistake. Obviously, there is something not connected, but the idea is that, there we go, look at that, beautiful. The idea is that all of these go, if we just pop around here, over to the storage. Now, this does look a little bit sparse, so there's something missing here, and obviously we do need to decorate all of this. However, you can see that on the outside, we have got this beautiful outline around our little Ficsmas village. I'm going to let them continue producing those stars. I do need to fix that little lineup, and we're going to passively generate them while we work on another project. Although I do need to clean this up. It still needs a bit of work on the outside. We also need to... I want something here, but I don't know what. I don't really know. We also need to clean up all of these random storage units that are just scattered around. And then I also want to work on something else, which is to get started on heavy modular frames and building them en masse, because for some reason we haven't done that, and that has been holding us back. I also really want to clean up our railway and make it look more like an entrance to this snow globe. But for now, it looks a bit plain on the outside. This is something that we do need to do before Ficsmas ends. But for now, we're going to head back to the base along our little line here and spot where we can build the steel foundry. I already have an idea as to where I want this steel foundry to go for these heavy modular frames, and I think what we're going to do is there is very close to these train stations an iron smeltery that we've never really used. We've never had a reason to use it. Oh god, I can't help but look at this as like a stingray or something. That manta ray face. I need to change that. And I need to look where I'm going. Although, how did they... Oh, yeah, because we're turning off. Whoops. My bad. So, this is where I was planning on placing the steel smeltery. And really, thinking about it, if we want to maximize the steel here, we're going to want to use the... is it pure steel alt? The one that uses coal with iron ingots. So we still want to produce enough iron, but I'd rather use the refinery, the pure iron alternate recipe, which we haven't actually unlocked yet. And knowing this, we are going to have to go on a hard drive hunt, which should be fine. But we're going to have to remove all of this because, well, let's face it, there's not much point having these here if we're not going to use them. And I think what we'll have to do is place the refinery section here and lead that straight into some foundries so that we can produce that steel. Of course, we will have all the iron running rather from this direction or over there. We'll run it underneath the floor along with the coal, which I haven't even thought about where we're going to get it from, but probably the top. And we will run that across into here and then up. So we're going to make sure there's a loading floor underneath. Now, in order to do all this building and taking all this down, which you can see we've started, I've built this tiny little resource sink with the storage containers there, which just allows me to quickly delete all of this and quickly get it all sunk so that we can keep building really quickly. It's just nice and easy. Anything that we don't need for now, we can drop in there, and hopefully it'll be empty by the time we've emptied all of this. Having cleared this whole area, you can see we've got the iron that would have, well, this is where the iron would have normally have gone down, the iron ingots to the next area. Well, what we're going to do over here, which you can see we've already got started on, I think we're just going to pull all the resources, maybe down from here, and bring them across to this area. We've just gotten rid of some of the foliage, but I think we're going to have to do another pass with the Noblisk. And we're going to build this platform out and get building the refineries. What you can see underneath, I've done some supports earlier, and I want to kind of repeat this on this side where possible. But we are going to have the loading floor just below here. We'll probably make it so that it's available like open underneath so that you can see it anyway. But I'd like to add the supports around that. We'll also turn this material, I think, to the concrete. It's going to look slightly different from the rest of the base. And this is going to go across to the end, I hope. And we're going to see what we can do with it from that point onwards. Now, the great thing is, now that we've got the pure iron ingot recipe, we can now get started in bringing all of that iron and starting to use those refineries to turn them into pure iron ingots ready to be used as the solid steel in the solid steel recipe. As you can see, I've brought set up the first line of refineries. Now, this is only going to be one part. We're going to need, I think it's 2 per full line of Mark 5 conveyors that we're going to be using these refineries, and we are going to have to underclock them. We're also going to run this all the way along here, and we'll delete the underside and then place these elevators as the inputs. It's a relatively simple design. And one thing that I've been thinking about is maybe having... Do we have enough resources? Yes. Placing the Foundry almost directly in front, because we don't need to use this output. Oh no, we can't do it there. Whoops. But we need the coal. But if we place it maybe somewhere like here, we could bring this straight across. So we have the iron ingots. We can make it maybe 60 per minute. Yeah, because it's 40-40, we could potentially underclock this to produce 60 per minute. And then we could overclock this one. And... yeah, overclock. Or maybe we need to underclock this to 40. I haven't quite decided yet. But then we could bring in 40 iron ingots and 40 coal and run them all along here. And then we could run this across... down here. Or even better yet, because this is taking up quite a bit of room, what if we grab this and we place... Yes. Oh, that's even better. Then we don't need to worry about the space for the coal. We could bring the coal up maybe around here. Or just after these stairs. So let's just place this as a little reference point for now. And so we have the coal coming along here, then the iron ingots going straight into here, and then we can bring this around with the steel, and that can go straight down. Maybe a little bit closer to the end. Like so. That would look pretty cool all along here, and it would look pretty compact as well. Actually, and even better yet, these will be in the same position. So we could make the cabling look pretty cool as well, although we might use beams for that. But there you go, that's the kind of idea that we're going for with this. I will show you more once this is done. I've now added the pipe manifold on top, which looks pretty cool. Only thing I'm actually concerned about is the fact that we have these orange... This can't be right, right? The orange on the pipe supports. For some reason, they're not changing. I don't know why. Look, that's the right color. And the other color should be white. Odd. I've now piped up, well, I haven't got the resources, but we've got the inputs for the water and also the iron all along here. And we've also done underneath the coal manifold, which is looking pretty awesome. I quite like it being open and just on this like concrete plinth or pillar. And then we obviously have where the steel, goodness me, I forgot for a second, where the steel ingots are going to come from. So we're going to do, I think, something like this as well for that. And then we have the outer part. And look at this. It looks great. I'm loving this kind of feel that we've got for it, even though we do have some weird shadows. So obviously we did go along with the style that we were looking at earlier. And as you can see, we have the... coal coming up in between these refineries, and then you can see also the power cables. Looks really clean, really neat. I'm loving this. Something that we don't normally do. I also ended up going with a 40 iron per minute underclock just to make this easier to sort out. We don't need to worry about overclocking and using ridiculous amounts of power. And from the outside, we also have this lovely little curve. There is a little bit of a Z... Oh, I see. Stop now. There is a little bit of Z fighting there, but generally speaking, I love the look of this. We just need to find a way to tie this into the factory a little bit more, maybe use this more often. However, there is something much more important that we need to get around to doing right now, because I've just noticed something online. Apparently, Having completed this, I say that. Here's 24. We'll just take that. Look at this. Some lovely finger gun emotes. Pew, 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 pew. We also have, if we can find number 25, which is here, fireworks. And now I know exactly what we're going to be placing in this section here. In fact, we might do it so that it fills this whole area, because we're going to remove this ramp shortly. And then, oh, maybe this area as well. Oh no, this should be for the snowballs, which we haven't done. And then that can be for the fireworks. And then we have like a full Ficsmas factory. We just need to decorate it all. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this is going. So in order to get started, we're going to start repeating this, and we're going to bring it up around here and then all the way across and around to there. Hopefully it won't take too long. We'll start by just copying this line here. Hopefully we'll be able to make another relatively clean corner or circular corner. And then afterwards we will add the details. Now this is by no means finished, but I'm liking how it's coming along. We do need to add some more decorations, but for now the important thing is that we work on the interior and get those fireworks crafted. The easiest one for us to produce at the moment is the fancy fireworks. Now this is because they require the branches which are produced in here and the ribbons that are produced in there. So these can go straight across into this section to create the fireworks, the fancy ones. The sweet fireworks, on the other hand, are also quite doable. We have the candy canes in there, and again we can bring the branches from across to here. For now we're not going to worry about those, I think it's the fancy fireworks, and that is because I'm going to build a snowball factory in this particular section the next episode. So for now, let's work on those two sets of fireworks. Now I could certainly fit in another 5 or so assemblers should I wish, but it would look a lot more cramped, and that's not really what we're going for here. All of these are going to be bottom fed, and then they'll all be stored away. And I think it's going to produce about 32 fireworks per minute, which isn't bad, but I'm going to want a lot more for something that I've got planned. So what I will probably do once they're all hooked up is stick this over on my server, which will then constantly run throughout the night, hopefully gathering enough fireworks for the big firework display that I want to do. And in case you're interested in which server company I'm with, I've chosen to go with low.ms. And they currently run our dedicated servers over on Patreon, but should you wish your own, do check the link. I'll pop a link to low.ms with my affiliate code in the bottom so that you can check it out should you wish one for yourself. And if you use the code Totalxclipse at the checkout, you'll get 20% off your first month. Anyway, back to the factory. With this all being fed from the bottom, that does mean we need to sort out our logistic lines beneath the floor, which is going to be a little bit hectic. This can just be moved over, but all of these, that's going to be a problem. Finally, after a fair bit of hard work, we finally got this running. And as you can see, they're so big. As you can see, we are producing the fireworks, and they are, I mean, rather large, but you can see that they're going down. Yes. And then if we go over here, you can see that they are under. That is so big. I hadn't thought about that. But the important thing is we have got them running. I might have to do some adjustments for their pure size. I've just noticed something. So all of the fireworks should come along here. That's where they should go. The last count I had 8 in here. But there's nothing on the conveyor. So if we go to this, you can see we are producing them. They're just not showing up on the belt, which is kind of odd. But, like I was saying, the important thing is that we now have, if we go to our detonator and press G, you can see that we now have, and then press R, some fireworks. And we actually have some more as well. As you can see here, we got the 20 that we just grabbed from earlier. So if we place these down, should... Perfect! I got there in the end. But I think that's going to bring us to the end of this episode, guys. So there you are, guys. If you did enjoy this, make sure to hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. And obviously, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week, hopefully with some... Wow, this is bigger than I thought it would be. More fireworks, because I've got a big plan. Anyway, guys, until next time, special thanks does go to all of our supporters, most notably our Solar Eclipse patrons, The Calamity, Cerebral Tag, and James Irwin, as well as our Lunar Eclipse patrons, Dixie Chris, Lord of July, and Ben. And finally, our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Papa Snoozy. Anyway, guys, until next time, as always, ciao for now.